Hi there, this is live, very major, extreme hurricane in USA to UK 2022 video. Timestamp there. It's the 29th of September 2022.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're coming on the air because Hurricane Ian is about to make landfall.
After forecast this year in January 2022, the hurricane season for the USA of America. I'm always 85% right. Worst hurricane in a long time. Since 2004, in a decade. I'm always 85% right about the weather. No joke.
It's actually painful as it hits you. I'm glad nobody else is out on the street.
This is tense, man. This is actually crazy weather. Look at the carnage, man.
And now the dangers are multiplied.
Whoa.
The life-threatening winds and flooding have already caused damage throughout Florida's southwestern coast, with debris traveling through the waters and cars submerged. Buildings like this beachfront hotel in Naples have been overwhelmed, forcing people to wade through the water.
Crazy weather.
Some areas like Tampa Bay have seen a rare occurrence, what's called a reverse storm surge. Ian's winds have been so powerful they've swept away massive amounts of water.
I've been there,
bare shorelines.
at that bridge.
But that water will soon come barreling back.
Wow.
Now several states have also declared a state of emergency, reckoning with the breadth of the hurricane and realising Florida is not the only place Ian has in its crosshairs.
No, it's going towards the Carolinas soon.
BBC News.
Incredible.
And we will get the latest from Florida in just a moment. But of course, with that storm started in Cuba, was first identified in Cuba, where 2 people have died. And we saw obviously the impact it had in Cuba before making its way to Florida, where the whole of the country was without electricity and without power. And of course, that reported 2 people dead. And we're hearing more about the devastation and the impact on the infrastructure in Florida as the hours go on.
Let's go now to CBS correspondent Jason Allen, who's in Tampa in Florida. Jason, very good morning to you. Bring us right up to date. What's the situation as we speak to you now?
Good morning. The west coast of Florida here is in a much better situation. Obviously, you don't see that heavy rain falling anymore. This backside of the storm, it is much drier. However, it is still very powerful, so there are still some wind gusts that are punching through this part of the city. The major concern with the storm right now is in the central part of the state, in Orlando, where you have Disney, some of the theme parks. There are flash flood warnings.
I've been to Orlando.
Also, all the way to the east
and
coast,
Disney World.
to the Daytona Beach area, you could see a foot and a half
you name it.
of rain. That is the area of focus right now as this storm continues that very slow move across the state of Florida.
Jason, tell us more about how this compares to other events. I mean, we're just showing some of the pictures you've been.
It's got to be the worst hurricane for a decade. I only predicted earlier this year on my channel. I'm sure it is.
Used to bad storms. How does
this one's been with me not so than the last hurricanes ever did, because of climate change. I wouldn't be surprised.
Florida is very used to it, and the people here are told every season to prepare for it, to be ready.
I've got a great auntie that lives there.
For 3 to 5 days if they need to, without power and without being able to get
she's
out.
all right.
But even with that, this is a historic storm for this state. I believe it's tied for the 4th strongest ever to hit the state of Florida, one of the strongest ever then.
My mum's cousins live there as well.
There was a storm that took a similar path back in 2004 and had similar strength. That was Charlie, but at that point it maybe only had wind gusts in the Tampa area, half of what this storm did. And we definitely didn't see the type of surge that we saw down in the Fort Myers area with this storm. As you were talking about, a surge that was high enough to completely inundate the first story of buildings, to leave people stuck in their homes. I'm sure we will likely hear stories of people on rooftops waiting for rescues. We know that some of those rescues are still happening here in the early morning and overnight hours. There are crews out on boats trying to get to some of those homes where people are waiting for help. And we expect those to continue as the sun comes up and people are able to get even further into those inundated areas.
Oh dear.
And Jason, in terms of the way people have responded, and you spoke before about how used people are there to having to take precautions to get out of the area. This time around, did that work? I mean, people were advised to get out, and then there was a point where they were told, too late, you must stay where you are.
And you described something that's very difficult for people here as well. They're so focused on the track. And originally, this storm was forecast to go further to the north. And so you had people who evacuated down to the south. And then it took a turn. That's something that people here are always aware of. They think maybe the storm isn't going to come to my neighborhood. I think in the
it's hard to predict hurricanes. Nature is hard to predict.
People who were split.
Just like this morning, there's supposed to be showers around southern England, southeast, and they're further west than they're supposed to be. In Cornwall, Devon, Dorset.
They've seen the storm move before. They could close up the doors.
Can't rely on computer models
put the
all the
boards
time.
over the windows. They could wait this out. That may have been an okay idea in cities like the one that we're in right now. But people who waited it out down to the south, those are some of the people right now who are
hear a hurricane coming towards you, just run for your life.
Jason, thank you very much for your
Don't hang
time.
around
Glad
for a second.
it's relatively calm where you are, so thank you very much.
13 minutes past 7. Now the American woman accused of
If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. You subscribe to my YouTube channel on Sign Gems. The force be with you always. Quite a passport. I need so many. Outweigh these few. Because I'm always 85% right about the weather, guys. These hurricanes are getting more bigger and more powerful and slower going than they used to. It's not so much upper level winds to slow them down like they used to be. They're getting more dangerous, guys. If you like this video, thanks for watching. And please listen to my friend Sparky on and Jimbo on the ITF Friday, every Friday at 3 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon on the Surrey Hills Radio Station show. And this is all that at 1500, 1700 p.m. in the afternoon. And listen to me on the Waking Radio Station show with John Andrews every Sunday on Lara's show. Waking Radio Station show at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Sunday. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel on Sign Gems. Bye, everyone.